Of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Bulls' big win over the Utah Jazz. DeMar DeRozan stepping up big in the second half for the Bulls, as well as Zach LaVine. Kobe hitting some big shots as well. We're going to break it all down, plus talk to the live audience right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, our Chicago Bulls get the win with a 7-point victory over the Utah Jazz in this game. DeMar DeRozan, 26 points. He was only 9 for 20 of the field, but still chipping in 26 points, getting some big buckets there, especially in the second half, scoring over 10 points in just the fourth quarter alone. Zach LaVine, 7 for 20 in this game, 20 points from him. 8 points from Ayo Dosunmu, 5 points from Patrick Williams, 16 points and 10 rebounds from Nikola Vucevic. Andre Drummond, we got the Andre Drummond we expect to see again in 14 minutes. Andre Drummond chips in 10 points, 10 rebounds, 1 steal in those minutes. Kobe White, another big game from Kobe White. 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from three-point range for Kobe White, 2 rebounds, and 15 points overall, hitting a couple of big shots down the stretch of this as well. The Bulls, while not playing their best defensive game by any stretch of the imagination, was able to step up, ratchet up the defensive intensity when needed. The Utah Jazz were shooting the ball over 50% at halftime. They end up shooting 49% from the field. They also end up going 19 of 49. They definitely cooled off big time in the second half from three-point range, only shooting 38% from three. The Chicago Bulls were 6 for 21 from three. Terrible three-point shooting game from us. We had 21 assists on 43 overall made baskets to the Chicago Bulls. We also had 6 steals in that, 3 blocks in that as well. Only 8 turnovers from the Bulls, 14 turnovers from the Utah Jazz. That's really good. The Bulls with 64 points in the paint. The Utah Jazz only with 44 points in the paint. We win the rebounding battle 50-45, which is one of my call-outs in the prediction show. If the Bulls were able to win that rebounding battle, I said that they were going to probably win this game. The Bulls in this one, funny enough, this is weird enough, right? They only won 1 quarter in this game. They tied the first quarter, lost the second quarter, won the third quarter by 13 points. Oh, no, they won the fourth quarter as well by 1 point. I was a little bit off on that. I'm cockeyed from time to time. You guys know how it goes. The Bulls just playing a much better second half than first half in this game. The intensity was a little bit different. The focus was a little bit different as well. We saw Zach LaVine really step up big time as well in that third quarter with DeMar, when I think DeMar and Zach combined for 18 points in the third quarter, I believe. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But again, that clear pass foul that Patrick Williams had by playing aggressive, pushing the pace, really helped the Bulls at a time where we needed it for sure as well. This was just a really good game. And by the way, I said that if the Bulls lost this game, I was going to come in and go the hell off. What was I going to say? I guess we'll never know, in the words of a Chicagoan and Kanye West. So, that's it, man. This a real good win for the Bulls. The Bulls are now 3-1 in their last 4. They sit at 9-11 on this season. So definitely some things improving for the Chicago Bulls there. Can they get above 500? They have 3 games left on this road trip. Can they do it? We face the Suns next. I think it's the Suns we have coming up next. And then we have the Golden State Warriors after that. And then we have the Sacramento Kings to end this West Coast road trip before we finally go back home and have our first home game in over a week next Monday. Next Wednesday. We are actually off from Sunday to Wednesday. Shout out to that long break in which we face the Washington Wizards at home and then have Dallas Mavericks at home as well before we go back out to Utah. The Bulls needed this win. Again, I know a lot of Bulls fans are down, especially on that last loss to the OKC Thunder, but at least the Bulls now, when you look at it, 3 of their last 4, they've won. Getting back in the right path. DeMar DeRozan back to being the king of the fourth in this game. There's still some things that this team missed for sure. I don't at all want to let the win overlook some of the issues that this team has that has plagued them against this team and will plague them against other teams, as we have the Suns and the Golden State Warriors up next. And I want to see that team improve. We got to be more consistent. I like the fact that the Bulls got the turnovers way down in this game. Only 8 turnovers overall in this game. That's huge for the Chicago Bulls as well, as we've been a very turnover-prone team. I like that we defended the three-point line way better in the second half. Still, we allow Kelly Olynyk, of all people, to go off from three-point range. Lauri had 24 points in the first half, ends up with 32 points. Holding Lauri Markkanen to only 8 points in the second half is not bad at all. I'm not going to be mad about that. But allowing Kelly Olynyk to go 5 for 10 from the three-point range, that's unacceptable. We got to look at that. We got to improve some things on that three-point line as far as that point of attack defense. But other than that, this Bulls team did a lot of positive things. Let's go ahead and get into the comments of it. I want to hear from you guys. Hear how you guys feel about this game. MJ says, I'll give Lauri credit. He hoops like this every game. Wendell only goes crazy against us, yet has a bigger ego than Lauri. Yeah, I mean, listen, Wendell Carter is a 20-year-old with a 35-year-old hairline. He got to take his cockiness where he can get it. Honestly, the first 2 quarters I was dozing off and was slumped, but I woke up and watched the last 2 quarters, so I really can't tell what we did right or wrong. I'll tell you what we did wrong. Not defending the three-point line. Terrible defensive scheme in that first half as well. There were so many times where there were guards switched on Lauri, guards guarding Kelly Olynyk. And that's just not going to bode well for the Bulls defense. So much better effort. We still saw a little bit of that in the second half, which is a little bit concerning that they really didn't learn from it. But to my credit, one of the plays that completely helped the Bulls hold on to this game was a play in which Alex Caruso was on Lauri Markkanen, and he got a steal and got out in the fast break. So, but overall, I don't think that it worked too well. But, it is what it is there. Scuba Steve says Kobe White is him. Listen, if this is how Kobe White, I don't even need like this every single game, right? But consistent. If Kobe White can be like this 3 out of 5 games, right? Let's say 6 out of 10 games, right? Even if it's 5 out of 10 games or whatever else, that completely changes the dynamic of this team. And you see it when Kobe White is gone. When Kobe White got that dunk, and I think was that at the end of the first half? I can't remember. When Kobe got that dunk, his confidence went up. And if you notice, he played well defensively, tipping some balls, getting some deflections, tipping some balls. That's a pause moment. But Kobe White was just more engaged in this game. And like I've been saying for a while, Kobe is doing things now even when his shot isn't falling, and he's maintaining those things when the shot does start falling. That makes Kobe a big part of the Chicago Bulls team when he does things like that. Dario says Patrick Williams with a huge steal. Yep, and pushing the break. Patrick Williams who pushed the break a couple of times in this game as well. Alana in the building says, and Drummond, oh my God, such a good bench pickup. And this is, listen, it's when I was completely wrong on, right? I wanted to see the Bulls go after Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, when they did sign Andre Drummond, I was a little bit disappointed. I threw some question marks, but I was never completely against the signing of Drummond. But even then, he's shown that for most Bulls fans that, hey, AK knows what he's doing with bringing in talent without spending a lot of money. So shout out to that. Kevin Mosley says, much needed win, but the defense has to tighten up and stop all that damn switching. If you're going to switch, communicate. That is a great point, right? Because the switching becomes an issue, but it becomes an issue when you don't or you hesitate on the switch. A lot of possessions in which Zach LaVine hesitated on the switch left for open buckets. Sometimes where Nikola Vucevic on the switch kind of didn't know what the other people were going to do, made the wrong decision, open buckets. The communication on defense definitely has to get there. That is something that Lonzo Ball does definitely bring to this team. Brendan Eljet, the third quarter was the difference, but Billy need to play P. Will more than 25 minutes per game. Agreed. He's earned that at this point. He's earned to play more than 25 minutes per game. Alex Larez, Kobe might not be playing to the best of his ability offensively, but the difference these last 3 to 5 games is he's performing when it counts. Absolutely. Kobe White, since the injury, I said first 2 games after the injury were kind of mid, right? We know that. It is what it is. It happens. Since then, though, Kobe White, really since the Boston game, in which he only was 2 for 8 in the Boston game, but at least one of those shots was very key in that stretch. 14 points in the Milwaukee game, only 6 points in the OKC game, 15 points in this game. He's starting to work it back up. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Kobe White when it comes to that. Mr. Bad Guy, Kobe's turning himself into a dog. Agree with that. Like I said, that nasty dunk he got on Lauri Markkanen, man, listen, that's what it is. That is definitely what it is. Lauri confirmed livid in the locker. Oh, he definitely punched the locker. Definitely punched the locker. That's for damn sure. Windy City Vids, love the ball movement, getting buckets, even though the Jazz cooked us from 3, 19-48, and we going 6 for 21. Well, those are both marginal performances, but the fact that they shot 48 threes is wild. But we held them to a much better percentage in the second half. So, yeah, the first half was complete trash. Complete trash. Nelson Latin says Drummond's play style is so goofy but hilarious and efficient at times. It's wild, right? He's a player. He gets it done. DZ, I'll take the win at this point. Glad they won the game. Hopefully they play better on the next game. I agree. Where's L at? Where's my boy L at? He got this prediction right. Julio Chavez says, yo, Haize, I love your hoodie. Appreciate this. This is actually a Fashion Nova buy. That's crazy. I had no idea before Black Friday. Well, let me not say that. But, it is what it is. Damn it, I was looking forward to saying what Petty. What up, Haize? Way to go, Bulls. Absolutely. I had the Petty Roosevelt outfit ready to go. Definitely ready to go. Lee Education James, this is why people got to watch the game. Zach's stats don't show the effort he played with tonight. Absolutely. And defensively too, right? And this is the thing, I think people are such in the mindset that Zach LaVine is this one-dimensional player that for those that don't watch the game and just watch the box score, they really won't understand how Zach is affecting the game now. 6 rebounds in this game, 5 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover, only 1 personal foul. Plus 11 in this game, the highest plus minus of any, he's tied with Caruso. Him and Caruso tied for the highest plus minus in this game. So, yes, Zach LaVine is playing with toughness, especially in that first half when he was getting to the rim the way that he was. Box score watchers aren't going to really understand. Yeah, he took 20 shots to get 20 points. Okay. But Zach LaVine is playing with some grit and determination out there for sure. Definitely for sure. Octopool Possum says, hey, Haize, how you doing, bro? How did the Bulls play tonight? I didn't watch. They played good. Really questionable in the first half. Really a lot better in the second half. I'm going to label it an overall good game. Matthew Baez says, oftentimes, I wonder which team does Zach LaVine play for? Good win, though. Oh, no, come on, man. You tripping with that. Yulia, hi, so happy we won. Go Bulls. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, everyone. Absolutely. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is December 5th. Real Starscream, one of the OGs here who I haven't seen in a while. Utah must be a lot like Finland. Lauri looks really happy there. Also, how good would he look on this Bulls team? Not as good. Not as good. He wouldn't get nearly the touches he gets in Utah. He would be blown up more defense. Keep in mind, Utah has some defensive bigs that really do help Lauri out, right? He wouldn't have that here for real. Now Lauri next to Drummond coming off the bench, if that's what he would do, would be dangerous. But Lauri would not look like this Lauri at Chicago Bulls because the touches just wouldn't be there. They just wouldn't be there for him. Sucks seeing the Rook ride the bench. Dalen Terry? No, listen, at this point, I get it, and I understand why Bulls fans want to see more of Dalen Terry. I completely understand it. I'm with you guys. I would love to see more of Dalen Terry. But when this team and the way that they're competing, the writing's on the wall. Dalen Terry is not going to get minutes on this team this season. It's not going to get it. The way he's going to have to develop is going to have to be through the G League, through some spot time when he gets it at times. But he is not going to be getting a lot of minutes on the Chicago Bulls team. He's just not. And not to say I agree with it. I'm just identifying it, right? That's all I'm trying to do. How the fuck does DeMar on his worst shooting nights manage to still finesse 26 points? Bro gets 25 in his sleeps. Man, I don't know, especially because he shot terrible in that first half. Getting to the line 9 times definitely does help that as well. But yeah, DeMar just finds a way. You know what you're getting from DeMar every game, right? That's why it's so surprising when we see DeMar have the 9 points, the 14 points, because he can sneeze and get 20. What's happening here? Okay, that's what's happening. My ESPN tabs. I hate the fact that ESPN just starts playing the ads. Alana, no lie, I see 2 straight losses and maybe a dub against the Kings. Well, let's hope, right? The Suns look definitely beatable. It sucks that we're facing the Golden State Warriors when they're putting it back together, right? The Golden State Warriors are starting back to look like that team that many people expected as the defending champions. They're still only 1 game above 500. But the Phoenix Suns, I'll say this. They're 13-6 on the season. I know that they are, I think, number 3. That's probably changed. The West changes so much. They're number 1 in the West right now. They've 6-4 in their last 10, and they're on a 4-game winning streak. But here's what I'll say to that: the Phoenix Suns are beatable. They're acceptable to teams that muddy the game up. For the Bulls to beat the Suns, they're going to have to play one of their best defensive games, period, of the season. But, let's get there to when we get to it. We'll have a lot of time to preview that, so it is what it is. Tariq T says, man, I know it won't happen, but I would like to see Dragic start some games to see if he could facilitate the offense and make it more fluid when our big three are in. No, because that's not how they use the point guard on this team. Tariq T, I'm not saying that I understand and I agree with, I would love to see Io run the offense more. But as we've talked about heavily the last week so on this channel, with DeMar on the team, you're just not going to get that opportunity. So Goran, even if you were to be inserted in the starting lineup, he's going to be turned into a spot-up shooter that comes off screens, comes off some pin downs. He's not going to run the offense like he does when he comes off the bench because they have to use DeMar in a very specific way. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying, I'm just identifying that that's what Billy Donovan would do and how he runs the team. Frenchie says, how in the world do we play this well against good teams but lose to weaker teams? They play down the competition. That's really just what it boils down to. This Chicago Bulls team plays down to the level of competition that they're facing, and it sucks. And that's why they find themselves on the wrong end of a lot of these games so far. Period. I really didn't want to lose to Lauri. Thank God the guys came through for us. We can definitely build on this win, even with the bad. I'll take this. I feel you. I'm taking all wins at this point. We're not turning down any wins. Lauri is a girl's name. Well, I grew up in Europe. Lauri actually isn't a girl's name over there. It's pretty common, especially where I lived in Italy. There was a lot of Lauris there. Bro, listen, for the fact that you're so insecure that you changed your name so people wouldn't know who you are, you ain't got no room to stand on, bro. Stand on what you say. Dude literally was like, I'm back. And I said, coming back and still being an idiot isn't a flex. And he left, didn't comment anymore, changed his username and profile, and then came back and wants to talk shit. It's sad, bro. It's real sad, man. Y'all going out here bad. Black men going out here bad. We got to do better, fam. 24-year-old with a 35-year-old headline. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, that's Wendell Carter all day, fam. Definitely Wendell Carter all day. Dilbert Grady says, I told y'all we was going to win. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, Kobe White is, I'm telling you right now, DeMar, I get the mindset behind it. Kobe White isn't being traded. I'm telling you that right now. It's not being traded. I can tell you that right now. It is not. It's going to play itself out in restricted free agency. I'm telling you right now, Kobe White is not going to be traded. Watch me. I told you guys this last year. Watch what I'm telling you. Yo, down the stretch, the Bulls started playing and banging get them kids out the street. Big boy ball. Come on, man. Y'all gotta think about this when you type it, fam, because I gotta read it out loud. Think about what you type, because I gotta read it out loud. Good work tonight. Absolutely. That's from C. Wade Bryant. Appreciate you, brother. Kyle Talkington. I literally said, why the fuck is Caruso guarding Lauri? A second later, he got the steal. Still don't love the small lineup with him guard. I agree, and I did the same thing. Literally, I didn't say the exact same thing. I can't remember what I said. I think I was just like, man, come on, not again. And then as my arms were coming down from saying that, it was like, all right, man. Lee Education James, again, I used to look at these goofies who expected people to average 18 points per game this season. Y'all got to chill. I expect that in the season or two. I see him more like OG Anunoby type player, 18-plus points per game with lockdown D. Well, the thing is, right, we've seen it, and I've given this stat before. When Lauri Markkanen gets double-digit shot attempts, like when Lauri has the usage rate that normal fourth overall picks get, he averages 18.7 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's what he averages when you put the ball in his hands. Now, I understand why they don't, but that potential is there in Patrick Williams. We just got to hope that once this team gets to a point of trusting him, increasing his role, increasing his usage, that still holds true. Alana, did y'all see Drummond that Euro step? Anytime Drummond does some crazy stuff like that, it's literally like that's wild that dude is that big, can do those things. Edward Medina says, I love coming to these live sessions, bro. I was worried for a little bit watching Lauri, but I knew the Bulls were going to hold on. They have taken down much better teams this year compared to last. Absolutely. That's what's so weird about this team, and that's what's so frustrating for a lot of Bulls fans, is the fact that this team, it isn't like last year where we were losing against the good teams. We are beating the better teams in the NBA this season and losing to the marginal teams. Hopefully we start seeing more consistency in that way. Darius says, Haize, please hear me out. Do you think Ayo can lose the starting spot if he continues to play inconsistent? He's not playing horrible, but not very good either. If the Bulls are winning, no. I don't think so, because this defense, right? Keep in mind, there are literally 3 weak defenders out there. Vooch can be a solid defender, but still, 3 negative defenders out there. You're going to keep another defender on there with them, and 2, because you have Patrick Williams and Ayo Dosunmu. I just don't see Dragic moving into the starting lineup. I just don't, right? I could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. But I definitely understand your mindset behind it, and I don't necessarily disagree with where your mind is with that. I just don't think that it's going to go that way because of how well the bench unit does do, and that we do need somebody who can kind of orchestrate. Like the chemistry that Drummond and Dragic have built up on that bench, I think you kind of leave them together, because that chemistry between them is just paying huge dividends for the Chicago Bulls right now. Huge dividends. Fix your audio. It's clipping. My audio shouldn't be clipping. I'm at -8 decibels. I shouldn't be clipping at all. Lauri more comfortable in Utah because he got way more. I know where you're going with that. I'm just going to shut up. Our roster is not sufficient enough to create blowout games. If that was the case, we would have seen Terry way more. Almost every game is close. We can't afford to put Terry out there. I definitely see where you're coming from with that. Haize, what's good, my guy? Lonzo could be back by Christmas. That's what I'm hearing. Is that true? Well, a report came out from Slam Magazine to say that the Bulls, internally, some people with the Bulls are expecting Lonzo Ball to be able to come back by the All-Star break. So that's more towards February, not December. I'm watching this on 2 TVs and my phone. LOL. I like and subscribe, everyone. I appreciate you, brother. I definitely appreciate that, man. Brandon L. Jet with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, Haize, when you make another members only video, I recommend possible All-Star game predictions, former Bulls players who are starting balling in the NBA right now. I will be probably doing one tomorrow. I'm well overdue. The members only, you'll probably get 2 members only videos this week, and then 2 next week to kind of make it up, and then we'll go back to once a week. I already have the topics planned out. I just got to get to it. So yeah, it's been busy, especially with like the Bears, and like, I won't lie to you guys, I completely underestimated just how much I was going to be working when I started Chicago Bear Central. The fact that I'm doing both now it's been a labor of love, but it's been real interesting. Goon Auntie's in the building. Says Bulls got to tighten up just a little bit more. Bulls need to stop playing down the competition, get their shit together, but we going to take this win. Absolutely, Auntie. You already know what it is. Love it when Auntie come through. Great point like that. Oh, by the way, I'm definitely tearing that article down in tomorrow's pre-recorded episode. Just don't even worry about it. I got it. Haize called P. Will Lauri twice. Did I? Is taking Duce shots before the live. Don't worry about what I do. Don't worry about what I'm doing out here in these streets, fam. Don't even worry about it. Matter of fact, since you wanted to bring it up, it's almost gone. You remember when we started this? Bulls win. So you know what it is. Bulls win. Duce, salute. Woo! All right, let's get back to it. First of all, I am not saying your name on this here. Not doing it. But Our record should be a lot better. I definitely agree with you there. Definitely agree with you there. It should definitely be a lot better. Haize, what's crazy? DeMar has a better defensive rating than Tatum or Brown. The defensive rating is also kind of a byproduct of the team as well, but that's why stats don't always tell the full story, because DeMar sometimes just gets completely blown up. Haize, man, I love coming in these streams lives and talking to you. I appreciate you, Brian, bro. You're one of the fam around here, brother. You already know I appreciate all you guys. We are definitely still doing solid this year. Big wins this year. Absolutely, Edward. The Low Show says 280 in the chat. Hit the like button. Damn, it ain't that hard. Come on, man. It's free to hit the like button. It's also free to subscribe as well if you want to go ahead and be locked in for this amazing content that we give every day, every single day. We are the only, see, a lot of Bulls channels say they're daily. I'm the only true daily Chicago Bulls channel. 7 days a week. Period. 7 days a week I drop videos. Period. Only true daily. Only true daily. Cool. Us members need some love too. Thanks, Haize. You know I got you. You know I got you. The Bulls won because I told them at halftime, if Lauri goes off for a career high and we lose, I'm sparing each and every one of them. Hey, listen, that's crazy. That's wild. Albert the Baddie. Okay. You think Zach can develop into a good two-way player? Yes. He has all the tools to be a good two-way player. He does. Zach LaVine had, and if you look at it too, like Zach LaVine at times on the ball is just he when Zach LaVine decides on a possession, I'm not finna let this bastard score on me, is always good. Sometimes off the ball, he gets caught up off the ball. Sometimes things like that, it gets him in bad situations, bad positions. But Zach LaVine absolutely can be that. He just has to do it. Zach LaVine has to lock in. Once he locks in mentally to do that, sky's the limit for Zach. Real talk. Vern in the building says, yo, Haize, do you think we make a move at the deadline? Because out of all the positions we addressed over the offseason, we got enough depth except at power forward. I think that, again, the Bulls team is going to be a buyout market watcher. That's just my personal opinion. I think that it's more than likely they're going to watch the buyout market than make a big-time trade. Kobe could be moved. I just don't think it's likely to be moved. So, yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it. But, again, I could completely be wrong. Completely be wrong. Brandy Nicole says, Haize, what's going on, Brandy? Glad to see you here. Do you think we will go above 500 I think we can be above 500 by the end of this road stretch. I definitely think by the All-Star break we can be above 500. But this team has to lock in. They have to stop the turnovers. They have to be locked in defensively every single game for all 4 quarters. They have to do that. I know some people are down on the Bulls' next 2 games, the Suns and the Warriors, which are going to be 2 matchups. The Warriors set a record, it feels like, every time we play against them, especially in Golden State. But I just really do trust this team. Wednesday's another late game. Friday's even later at 10 p.m., which is interesting. 10 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. Central time. But here's what I say. We have back-to-backs or 2 games in a row in New York, Wednesday and Friday, December 14th and 16th. I'm saying by that game, the Bulls will be above 500. That's my above, probably before then, hopefully before then, but at least by then. Hey, Mingo in the building says, hey, thank you for supporting the channel at that level, my brother. Call me greedy, but wins like this create high festivity for Orlando-type losses. Do say on me. Listen, bro, I appreciate you, man. Wins like this are stressful, but it is what it is. Do we sweep, split, or get smashed by Phoenix Golden State? I'm going to say split. I'm not going to say smash. I'm going to say split just because I'm trying not to be a homer. How do you see the bench play out when Lonzo comes back? Listen, Albert, I have no idea. It really depends on how many minutes Lonzo's playing initially. But it's going to be interesting because at that point you have Caruso, Lonzo, Goran Dragic, all guards coming off the bench, as well as Kobe White, unless Kobe's moved by then. Javante, Derrick Jones Jr., Andre Drummond. Listen, the coaching staff got to figure that out. I'm glad that it's not me that has to figure that out. That's for sure. Auntie says, every single game, 48 minutes each game. That's how we got to come. That's absolutely true, Auntie. Absolutely true. If we can trade for anyone, Haize, who would you personally go after? Realistic trades. I kind of already did a video on this, but if we're talking realistic trades, Jared Vanderbilt, who we just played, is definitely on that list. I would love PJ Washington on this team. And that's calling me a homer. Homer, I don't know why. He's not from Chicago. I really just like PJ Washington and what he's able to bring. I wouldn't mind the Bulls trading for him. It doesn't seem, I don't expect Charlotte to move on from him, especially with the whole Miles Bridges situation and whatever's going on there. But Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber is another one that I'd be highly interested in. I don't know if they move on from him, but it seems like he's been kind of marginalized with the addition of Christian Wood. So maybe that's a possibility. But again, I don't think it's likely that the Bulls make a trade that large. That's just kind of my opinion. What's your Twitch? It's Chicago Bulls Central. That's it. Same thing everywhere. Ricky Fontaine says 272 people. Get them likes up. Come on now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. No joke. I can tell DeMar would be way better if he drove the ball to the rim more, but he's older and wants to stay healthy. Bro better be saving them acrobatic finishes for the playoffs. Definitely. Every once in a while, DeMar hits some type of finish that you're just like, hey, man, listen. Vanderbilt, hands down, if he wasn't an idiot, Miles Bridges. Listen, I don't want Miles Bridges on my team. I don't think the team would go after him. But keep in mind, now that the plea is in, this is when the NBA could suspend him. They haven't. I'm honestly surprised the team hasn't picked him up yet, to be honest with you. I'm not surprised that it isn't the Bulls. I don't think it will be the Bulls, and I don't think it should be. But I'm really surprised another team hasn't picked up Miles Bridges by now. Cheers, Bulls fan. That's from Gio. Auntie agreeing with me. She says PJ Washington definitely balling, bro. Sis, I'm sorry, Auntie. I really do love PJ Washington. I love his game as a whole as well. So, V-Dog, I don't expect Lonzo to get a lot of playing time whenever he does return, just based on simple fact he's been out almost a full year because we lost him at this time last season. You are exactly right. That's why even if he did come back, don't expect a lot from Lonzo right away. Would it be a good idea for the Bulls if they signed a solid or maybe all-star power forward so that P. Will can improve and just up his skills at the bench? Listen, no, P. Will does not need to go to the bench at all, because keep in mind, even if the Bulls did sign a all-star power forward, he's not going to get a lot of touches on this team. They're not going to completely change the dynamic of this team. There's only so many touches. Pete Will is the perfect power forward for this team right now. A player that doesn't command a lot of shots, doesn't demand that you necessarily run offense for him, but has shown that he can be productive, and he's being more aggressive at taking the shots that come to him, not being as passive, and he's a A-plus defender. So I don't think moving Patrick Williams to the bench is the answer anymore. I just don't. Let's go, Haize. Bulls win. Love the content. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you, Francisco Torres. I appreciate everybody as well. You guys already know I love you. This is the fam here. And we're going to keep this moving. We ain't going to stop. Johnny Rico says, I appreciate your dedication to this team, bro. Hey, listen, I tell you what, dad's born and raised in Chicago. I've been a Bulls fan I've been fans of other teams, like I'm a huge John Morant fan. I love the Memphis Grizzlies, but I've been a Bulls fan for my whole life, and that's always been my primary team. Of course, I've had teams that I've come in and out of really liking and enjoying. I love the We Believe Warriors that year because Baron Davis was one of my guys. But hey, that's it. And I always say this for people who ask, once you become a creative and you get to a certain level, people always ask like, hey, What do you do to get into this? What should I do? Always do what you're passionate about. I love the Bulls. I've watched every single Bulls game for over the last decade. I don't miss a Bulls game. There are times where I worked overnight and my bosses knew, hey, the Bulls are playing tonight. CJ is going to be watching the game on his phone, but he's going to also be getting his job done. I don't miss Bulls games. So it makes it easy to do this content. It makes it easy to do episodes every single day because I'd be talking about this team every single day anyway. So, it is what it is there. I'd gamble on Miles Bridges. I wouldn't. I understand where you're coming from because there's a lot of skill there. Sometimes you have to overlook some of the off-the-court things for basketball. It's about business. But the Bulls, just the way that the organization operates, I don't see them doing that at all. Haize, this is the first team we beat in the West this year. Is that real? It can't be. Is that right? You're right. Wow, this is our first Western Conference victory this season. That's bananas. That's crazy. Lee Education James, do you think we'll be over 500 by the season mark? Not gonna lie, it's sad that we're 2 games under 20 games in. No, I think we'll be above 500 long before then. I really do think that. I could be wrong, but I really do in my heart of hearts believe that. Haize, when Lonzo returns, do we need the same performance before he left, or do we need more from him to make a deep playoff run? I'm talking 18, 8, and 8. Well, it's not happening. I tell you what, it's not happening when he first comes back. The man's been out of basketball for over a year. Do not expect that same production. I mean, by the end of it, could he give us that? Yeah, but don't expect that. When Lonzo comes back, the thing that I'm looking for Lonzo right away is defense. The communication on defense, his defensive switchability, the ability there, and then his shot may take a while to get in rhythm. I do not expect Lonzo Ball to be right back to the volume three-point shooter he was. I think that is going to take some time to come along. But to think 18, 8, and 8 in his first season back, it's probably not going to happen, brother. It's just probably not going to happen. Well, keep in mind here. So Joshua says Adam Silver not letting that man come back, cracked the whip on Kanye, made him do some homework before playing again for something way less. Keep in mind that was the Nets owner that put that long stipulation there. All Adam Silver did was wanted to meet with Kyrie, and he walked out of that meeting said, I believe fully that Kyrie Irving does not have a single anti-Semitic bone in his body. But that was the Nets organization. The NBA could suspend Miles Bridges now because the pleas in the case, I believe, has been completely shut down. He's gotten his punishment. Now, they could very well wait till a team signs him, but I don't understand the benefit of that. You might as well let him serve his suspension now because why punish a team because they wait and things seem in the clear? But you never know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't necessarily think that may be the case, but I could be wrong with that. Brandon L. Jet, Javonte Green can start on a lot of teams. Right? Oh, listen. We talked a lot about Kobe. We talk about Ayo Dosunmu. Don't forget, Javonte Green is also a free agent this year, right? And the reason why they may end up keeping Kobe White is because they control Kobe White in a way that they can match any deal for him. Javonte, he's 29 years old. This is his first time entering free agency. I know Chicago's the one that believed in him. Chicago gave him the most opportunity. I understand all of that. But if you're 29, at that point, he'll be 30 years old when he's an unrestricted free agent for the first time. If a team is offering him more money than the Chicago Bulls, I think Javonte's more likely to leave. That's just what I think, especially if it's a contender. Imagine a contender offering their full mid-level exception for Javonte Green. That's a $10.5 million base level salary. I'm not saying that necessarily they're going to do that, but you never know. Championship teams or teams that near championship level that are usually over the cap, all they have is a mid-level exception, and they may look at Javonte, the energy he brings, the defense he brings, the offense that he can bring, especially if it's a fast-paced playing team with a pass-first point guard. Javonte may not be long for the Chicago Bulls. I hope that I'm wrong there. I'm just trying to be a little bit honest with my look at it there. Trade for PJ Washington just so Brittany Renner can come to the games to see his son and I can see. Listen, you're wild, bro. Wild. Francisco Torres says, for sure, brother. Super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel at that level, my brother. Can't stress enough what that means, bro. Joshua Gamilla says, Haize, man, I appreciate you. I watch, listen morning and night. Love the content, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And hopefully you continue to enjoy the content here, man. Definitely. Reginald Short says, great point, right? The Golden State Warriors lost Gary Payton II because they didn't match the contract. And you can tell, especially with their struggles early in the season, what not having a defender like Gary Payton II has, how that's hurt the team. Now, let's say the Golden State Warriors, for some reason, let's say they get eliminated second round of the playoffs. They may say, hey, we need another versatile defender to come off our bench. Oh, Javonte Green's a free agent? How much we got? We got a mid-level? Give it to Javonte. Javonte has proven he can guard 3 positions in the NBA. Shooting guard, small forward, power forward. The Golden State Warriors would absolutely feast at that. Goon, Auntie says, definitely finna pay Green for real. That A-stud player, his energy over high. Somebody gotta pay him. He's getting money. Javonte's about to get paid. Zach is a great player to have signed regardless of this season. He's not a first option, but he can play alongside any superstar we may snag in the future. Prime Levine is an off-ball demon. Absolutely. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. You might be right, Haize, on Jay Green. Honestly, the Bulls will work on keeping Io this. Io, I'm not really. I used to be worried about Io staying. I'm not worried about it. I think the Bulls are going to, especially with Lonzo's injury, the Bulls can't afford to lose Io DeSumo. They're going to pay Io DeSumo. So I'm not worried about that. Javonte, I just don't know. I just don't know. If Andre opts out, I can see Boston making an offer for the full mid-level exception. Yeah, they definitely could. They definitely could. What if the Bucks went after Javonte? I don't think it could work money-wise. But, they have their mid-level exception. They keep in mind they're a team over the cap, so they're going to have the full taxpayers mid-level exception, which I think is a little bit less. No, the 10.5 is the lower exception. The $11 million is the higher exception. So, yeah, they're going to have a mid-level exception. And that's an ownership group that hasn't shown any objectivity to paying the luxury tax. How about them Bulls? Didn't get to see Petty Rage? Thank God you didn't have to. If Lonzo is back, will they go back to the original lineup or replace P. Will? Have Io? Oh no, they're not gonna have Io, Lonzo, Zach LaVine, DeMar, and Vooch. No, the P. Will stays in the lineup. And Lonzo isn't going to start when he comes right back. Lonzo's going to be coming off the bench initially. Melvin says, losing Javonte Green will remind me of us losing Nate Robinson, DJ Augustine, and them other small guards that gave you energy back in the day. I can definitely understand that. The day Javonte, I don't think it'll be traded. It'll be him leaving as a free agent. It wouldn't be a trade. It's him leaving as a free agent. Shooting-wise, can we see Duncan Robinson be traded for second-round picks and pennies? No, because his contract's way too high for that. That's why the Bulls will not trade for Duncan Robinson, because the money just doesn't work. Duncan Robinson's contract is, let's see if I can look it up real quick, $18 million per year. The Bulls do not have the salary to match that. It's not happening. Is Chris Paul playing next game? That is a really good question. He's not playing tonight. They're playing right now. Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. But, I could be wrong with that as well. If Vooch leaves and Andre stays, who do you see competing with AD? Oh, no, listen, first of all, that's why the Bulls can't just let Vooch leave. And I love Drummond. Drummond is not a starting center in this league right now, especially on this team. With the way that DeMar DeRozan operates as a post player, Drummond is not the answer. If Vooch is to leave in free agency, the Bulls are going to go after another stretch big. They're going to have to. Duncan Robinson is a problem, and examples to so many role players in the league today shouldn't get max contracts just because they had one good season. Yeah, but see, the Duncan Robinson situation is this. When you have a role player that steps up, has a career year, you can't risk losing them for nothing, so you kind of have to sign them. And that's what teams run into a lot of times, and it ends up biting them in the foot. Albert says Drummond getting 10 and 10 with 14 minutes. He's a beast. That's my thoughts. Andre Drummond is a goddamn beast. Period. And he plays with such energy, such focus. And what he's able to do with minimal minutes, I think gets missed by so many people. Isn't DeMar on? No, next year's a contract. So DeMar DeRozan is still under contract for next season. Fuck Lauri, hold that dunk. He was lighting our asses up. Not going to lie, he had me at the first half. Only 8 points total in the second half, though. Right? Only 8 points total in the second half from Lauri Markkanen. So, that's good to see. Brendan L. Jet says, sounds like a dumbass Lakers rumor. I didn't even read it. Let's go. SP Haize, do you see the crazy rumor article that the Bulls trading Caruso and Lonzo for Westbrook? Oh, no. That's never happening. Never happening. Never happening. It's not happening. I can tell you that right now. London will be on minutes restrictions. He means Lonzo. I got to mess with Justin. He means Lonzo. Dreams are a reality. One of the OGs here says, hey, Haize and everyone, great win, Bulls. Chris Paul has a heel injury. He may miss next game. Absolutely. Vooch signs 2-year, $36 million deal where Ayo gets full mid-level exception. In the end, Green, Dragic, and Kobe are going to be gone. No, not necessarily. Keep in mind, Dragic, I think he has a player option, right? Or was it? And keep in mind, Dragic's deal is a veteran minimum. You can always re-sign players at the veteran minimum. So we can re-sign him easy. That's not an issue. Javonte Green, we'll see. Kobe, I do think it may be gone just depending on the contract that he demands. Vooch getting 2 years, $36 million. That's not a bad deal. It's not a great deal either. It's not a bad deal. It could be a lot worse. Ayo, keep in mind, Ayo's our rookie, so we can't use the mid-level exception. The exception is to go out and get unrestricted free agents. So the Bulls will be signing him with cap space. So we still technically have the mid-level exception to use. Now, if you're meaning that he's going to sign for mid-level exception type money, absolutely. That's probably what I think that Ayo's going to sign in that first year is going to be about a $9.5 million contract. That's what I think is going to happen with Ayo Dosunmu. He just says, Haize asked Pat about the neck thing and he acknowledged he didn't even clap back. That's funny. Leave that man alone. Good night, bro. Peace. Good Bulls win. I was actually waiting to see you go berserk if they lost. Hey, listen, thankfully, we ain't got to worry about it. Is the cap spike going to keep an Ayo easier? I mean, yeah, theoretically, but keep in mind, they can the Bulls can keep Ayo regardless because they own his early bird rights. Now, it's not the same thing as full bird rights where you can go way over the cap to re-sign him. There are restrictions in the type of contract that you can offer him, but I don't think Ayo is going to be looking to go anywhere else. I really don't think that. Shay says, I still can't believe Jay Crowder's being a big baby. Doesn't want to play for his team when his team is doing good right now. I will use playing times so that way boosts my trade value if I were him. Nobody's trading for Jay Crowder, knowing he's a free agent, knowing that contract's $10 million. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Made it to work. Glad you're still alive. Thank you, Alana. I hope they structure Ayo contract like they did Zach, first Bulls contract, 4 years with the luxury of getting a huge deal in his prime, for sure. Reginald Short says, you should see the dumbass rumors for DeMar, Vooch, and first for AD that Shannon Sharp started. Oh, God. Shannon Sharp knows he be cooking up shit now. Jones and Drummond have player options on their deals. Kobe is a restricted free agent and probably will be gone. Ayo will be getting something in the $44 million. I don't think he's going to get that high. I think Ayo is going to get one of those 3-year deals with a player option for like $35 million. I think is what's going to work out. I think he's gonna because he's still young. I think he's gonna give a more friendly contract to the Bulls, his hometown team. He's not gonna take a big hometown discount at all, but I think he's gonna be on the lookout to probably opt out after year 3 and then re-up and get the huge money at that point. Tariq T says, I think we are able to beat both the Suns and the Warriors. We know for a fact if this team plays the entire game hard, they can win against any team. This is facts. It's all about effort. Well, the one team that they have never don't avoid blowouts against is the Golden State Warriors. So we'll see what happens there. But I hope they can win against both teams. That would go a long way in changing kind of the mindset in Bulls Nation as well. Io signed with CHGO. His head and heart are here. Listen, it's a podcasting deal. It's not like it's an NBA contract. That man could get out of that easily, I'm sure. But all right, that is it. I got to shut it down because I got to get ready to go do Locked On Bulls over with Pat. So make sure you guys go over there. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel if you don't. As most of you know, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is next Monday, as I turn 36 next Monday, which is wild to say. I'm getting close to 40. Does the mid-level crisis come in at 40? Is that when the mid-level crisis mid-level. Is that when the midlife crisis comes in? I'm on my precipice of that. But make sure you follow the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. Like I like to end everything on, go Bulls, love you guys, see red, and peace, y'all. Make sure you guys go over to Locked On Bulls as well. Peace. Love you. Love you guys. I love you, motherfucker.